Welcome to Sofiah Thom. I'm really excited to have you back here in this space. It's been, I think, 4 or 5 years since we first connected, and I'm so grateful to be reconnecting with you today.
So happy to be here right now.
You are such a powerful force in this movement of the feminine rising. And I have just so appreciated and admired your embodiment of what it means to be a woman in this time, what it means to be a leader in this time. And it's been so powerful to be even in your energy at various different times to get to experience your unique soul signature and your medicine that you bring to the world. I just love all of the different aspects of feminine artistry and dance and tantra and everything that you weave together to support women from all around the world. So excited to dive in today. We've got lots to talk about. For our listeners who are new to you, maybe you want to share where you live and something that's lighting you up right now.
Thank you. Yes. I am here in Costa Rica. I have lived here for, going on 19 years with my husband, who's been here 35 years. We have built and created a beautiful retreat center, Danyasi Eco Retreat, that we have been running and managing. It's so beautiful. It's actually also the birthplace of Envision Festival. And right now, I feel like what I'm so lit up with is, this energy of rebirth for myself. I'm coming out of a sabbatical. I just turned 49. I'm in my 50th year. Yes, I'm aging backwards. I do have secrets.
She sure
And
does.
the last couple of years though have been really intense. I went into sabbatical because my womb that I work so deeply with and listen to literally was screaming to me to stop. And I had to stop. I had to pause. I had to just drop everything. I had been holding space for 7 years straight in my temple body art school, and my womb was bleeding and was not stopping, and it was like, you have to stop. And so in that time I went so deep and I read like every book I could get my hand on about perimenopause and menopause, and just like, how are these secrets and like this biggest rite of passage kept from us? Because this is like one of the biggest ultimate rites of passage that we move through as women, and that is what I am so lit up about. My work is so much about rites of passage, and so I'm really coming out of this time in full force right now of like, okay, I just gotta fucking go for it and share my work, because this work, the temple body arts path and way of being in connection with ourselves and our own artistry and our sexual creative power, is truly what every woman needs to be able to prepare. Yes, even in your 30s, even in your 20s, to prepare for this ultimate rite of passage where we enter into the wild, wise woman. And so I feel like that's really what is just lighting me up. And so as I'm deeply listening, there's just so much beautiful new codes coming through, and I'm feeling really excited right now.
Yeah, I've really seen just like this next layer of like radiance and vitality. And you mentioned aging backwards, which is something that I think all women want to know about. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, what you just shared about the work that you do in Temple Body Arts is how I view the work of embodiment, which is that life is going to bring us initiations and challenges and transitions and things that we didn't expect and unknowns. And the level to which we're able to master, to have self mastery really with our emotions, with our sexual energy, with our spiritual practices, with the way that we connect in sisterhood and allow ourselves to be supported. Those are the things that are going to help you to navigate and to ride the waves of these initiations and these death and rebirth cycles from a place of empowerment and from a place of being rooted in who you are amongst, the chaos that happens in our lives and in the world around us.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you spoke directly to yeah, what temple body arts is, and it is about sacred embodiment. A lot of people are, throwing that word around, embodiment, without maybe fully understanding what that actually means. Truly, I mean, I feel like I've spent my entire life like really dedicated to that. I mean, I had a very unique entry into this world, I would say, and into this body. And um, yeah, I feel so deeply grateful. I came into a family of healers, and I'm second generation facilitator in kind of like a human potential movement. And I'm also fourth generation in a spiritual movement. And so having these tools and then following my passion of dance and sexuality and sensuality and expression and being in the body, it just really like took me down this path of, yeah, just fully learning all the different ways that we can fully be here in this body as our signature soul essence, to be in this body. And what that really means is to be present here now and, yes, with everything that is unfolding. And life is not butterflies and unicorns and love and light. It is all the things, and that's truly what the lens of Tantra, and really studying Tantra for over 25 years also, to really see that Tantra is about recognizing the body as an instrument of the divine and that everything is sacred. Yeah, like even the most terrible things, the ugly things, like who are we to judge? It's really like this non dual way of seeing the world and being able to embrace all. And I think that so many people are on this path of awakening now, which is beautiful. And it's essential for us to go into those uncomfortable spaces, to meet ourselves in the dark, in the places of falling apart and surrender. I mean, I had to go into full surrender and let go of everything. Like, I really didn't know if I was going to come back, if I was going to continue. Like, I was ready to throw everything off the cliff. Literally, I live on a cliff. I mean, even my husband, which I had never questioned before. And by the way, that's something that happens in perimenopause. Many people, many women will actually divorce their husbands because there's this rewiring happening literally in the brain, and it can create so much doubt and anxiety and all these different symptoms. If we're not fully anchored into who we truly are and what we stand for and what our dharma is, like what we're really here to live and to embody and to bring through, then it can be a very confusing time. And anything that's kind of not fully aligned, like you're just like ready to just throw it off the cliff in
Yeah.
that moment. So it takes a lot of patience. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that I've been thinking about recently too, because there have been many instances in my life where I was willing to and almost had to burn it all down. Like
Uh-huh.
that was part of my evolution of being married in my early 20s and then realizing that I got into that relationship not with the connection to myself or with the purpose or the vision. It was very surface level and performative in a way. And so burning that down. And then there were parts of my business that were no longer aligned as I grew and I evolved and came into myself. And so I had to burn those down. And then eventually recognizing that living in San Diego, the place where I've spent most of my time in my life, was no longer aligned, and moving across the country and burning that down. And right now I'm in a space where I'm actually refining that piece, because there are aspects right now in my life that do feel like are wanting to die, and I'm being a lot more, there's such a deeper level of somatic attunement that I'm experiencing, where I'm starting to like piece apart these different layers instead of being like it has to all be burnt down. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
can we get more nuanced with it? Like, what parts of me want to
Mm.
die? What parts of my relationship want to die? Where can I be even more intimate with my own sensations, my own truth, so that it doesn't always have to be burning everything down? Sometimes it has to be that, but maybe it's like I'm in my 30s and I know myself more and I'm know my body more and I'm able to listen deeper. But a past version of myself would have been like, okay, burn it down, start again, keep going. And now I'm like, oh, there's a little bit more maturity and a bodied exploration and somatic exploration that I'm in right now. So that's a little bit about, I've so been there before. Where we're like, oh my God, I need to just throw it all out. And it's like, okay, let's let's slow things down. Let's go deeper.
I love that. And actually, Amy, you're preparing. I feel like through these mini burning it down, you
Uh,
are actually preparing. So there's women, if we haven't really taken the time to truly listen and to let go of the things that don't no longer serve, when you come to that place of like perimenopause, and if you haven't done any of that work and you're in a completely like a life that doesn't fit who you truly are, then that's when, things
for
can get
sure.
hairy. But I will say that when you're speaking, I feel like you're speaking into this level of discernment, of just really being able to discern what is truly aligned with your soul's purpose and what you're here to bring with you. I feel like we always, I mean, as women, so much of what I teach is around the cyclical wisdom. And I'm sure you do too. It's like, as embodied feminine wisdom keepers and leaders, like we listen to our wombs and we recognize that we are cyclical beings. And so we do have to let things die. And every month while we're in our bleeding years, it's like we get to offer that to the earth, to Mama Gaia. We get to give it back. We get to really live in this beautiful, prayerful, cyclical way of being where we're continually offering up what no longer serves. But it is a deeper layer of discernment. And when we're in our sacred dreamer time, is what I call it, when we're bleeding, we naturally come out of the head. We have moon brain, so we can't really even think. And it's just like all the energy goes down to our womb. And it's such a beautiful time for us to naturally receive clarity on what is aligned with our life and our soul and what is not. And, we don't have red tents anymore. And so it's important to like give yourself that space to listen. And then when we come into the follicular phase of the graceful warrior, where we have our sword of discernment, then we can start to take action of like cutting away the little things so that we don't get to that place where we have to feel like we have to burn it down, because we're continually in this cycle of like listening, releasing, tuning in. Okay, where am I guided now? So it's such a beautiful way of leading our lives. And it is this way of living artfully, like really recognizing that we are co-creating with the divine in
Sure.
every moment. And I mean, we are the divine. It's like, recognizing that, yeah, we are human and divine. And the more that we can tune in to this wisdom and divinity that lives within, and to receive the clarity of like the next step, then we're co-creating and we're living in this way that's, I like to say, it's like living our artistry as our ministry. So ministry really being like our purpose, and our purpose work and our service. And how can we show up and create from this sexual creative power, to really be present and enjoy and listen to life and co-create in the moment, rather than like, okay, this is the plan, this is what I'm doing, we have an agenda. It's like, I mean, when I let go of my entire launch and tour and everything I was doing, it was like, it just cleared the slate. And now I feel like I'm like creating from this new space, it's powerful.
Yeah, and people can feel that too when you are creating from that space of connecting with your mission and your vision and your purpose, and in this more feminine way of artistry rather than it having to be the logical way of doing things, which is valuable at times for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to dive deeper into this because I know that there's a lot of women who are listening to this who are on this journey of either discovering their purpose or stepping into their purpose and wanting to create a life that's more aligned with their creativity and their artistry. So let's go deeper on this.
Well, I feel like I'm reclaiming myself as an artist right now, because this is something that happens. I feel like when we go full in and we create our business and we're an entrepreneur, and we're doing all the things, we can really lose touch of what truly brings us alive, which I feel like we're all artists really. And when we're in that like playful, creative, sensual space, what's better than that, right? It's like this space of inspiration. So, it's really, I feel like it's such a dance. I mean, and speaking of burning it all down, there was a time at the end of 2021 when I had my best year yet. It was during COVID. I had a team of 10. I had multiple six-figure launch online. I was doing all the things, I had 50 women from around the world training them. And yeah, but I was like, I was too much kind of in the strategy of like following like what my mentor was teaching me and what I thought was like the way. And I just completely lost touch of like my ritual artist, you know, my sacred performing artist, my ritual artist. And I really had to then burn it all down in a way and like pick up, okay, what are the pieces I want to bring with me? And I at that point for 2022, I actually had rebirthed my whole school as more of a mystery school. And really I was like, okay, I need to honor these pieces. And so I speak into this, you know, for all those listening of like, really feeling into like it's so important to be exploring. I have this beautiful practice actually. It's called the full body yes timeline. And it's a way of reflecting in your life all of the moments where you felt fully turned on and like that full body yes moment of like just full inspiration, like, yes, this is what I'm here for. And it's really powerful to like go through and see, okay, what are those moments and actually do a timeline of the different years and these different points. And that's part of what I do to help the women get clear on like, okay, what is my purpose? Because it's going to be those moments where your gifts, where those moments like they fully came forth or like where you felt most alive. And so for me, that was, of course, like, you know, these moments of when I discovered that I wanted to follow dance therapy as a path, or when I did this ritual performance to transmute the anger that I was feeling from this boy that I was in love with that had, you know, left me, and I got to transmute it and be witnessed in this ritual performance. And I remember falling to the ground. God, I have full chills right now. I remember okay, yeah. Let me just go back here for a moment. This was in my 20s. Okay, so this is like a long time ago. This is 25 years ago. And I had full acne. I had like, my face was completely red from acne because it was unexpressed anger.
Mm.
I did not know how to express my anger. I had no idea. I'm from England. We don't express our anger. Well, who the hell does express our anger, right? We just don't. But in England, even more so.
Especially as women, we don't.
Right, exactly. So I was just this unexpressed anger. And so it was just this absolutely amazing moment where, you know, one thing led to another. After my pilgrimage to India, I'm finding myself, I'm studying temple dance, all these things. I end up back in England, like, okay, where do I want to be in the world? Like kind of following my yes. And then I meet this person at a dance studio and he's like, oh, do you want to interview for this company, this dance company? Anyway, I end up interviewing, getting into this dance company. And it was all about creating ritual art and performance. And so this is where I got to have these musicians play for me while I expressed and explored, and he like guided me. And I remember falling to the ground, like just screaming, moving this energy through, just like moving it all through, coming to the ground. And in that moment of just like feeling the power of my anger, actually, and how fucking good it felt to like move it through my body. And I was like, oh my God, this is my work. In this moment, I was like, this is what I'm here for. And that moment basically brought me back to the States, to San Francisco, to the Bay Area, where I went to this interview for the school, Tamalpa Institute. And I'd heard about it when I studied dance therapy, about Anna Halprin and Tamalpa Institute. And it's all about an expressive healing arts. And she healed herself of cancer through doing these ritual expressive arts. So I'm sharing a whole story here, but it does have a point. We have two spaces where you can study. We have the, you know, the Tamalpa Institute and the studio, and then we have the Subud House. And I was like, what? The Subud House? And that is the name of the spiritual group that I'm in. And she's like, yeah, we rent the space there. And that's where we do the studies. And I was like, okay, this is just a full circle moment of my inner realm and my outer, like coming together. Of like, it was just such this incredible moment. And so now fast forward 25 years later and everything I've created and the immersion I just had with all the women that came here to my retreat center, literally we create these ritual arts performances at the end of the immersion to really like whatever is most alive, we bring that into the performance. We invite other sisters to play different roles or goddesses or archetypes. And it is so deeply transformational to truly be witnessed in this. And I'm just, even as I'm sharing the story, I'm making that connection of like these moments of the live your yes, you know, these full body yes timelines of these moments. Like I just knew. And now it's like 25 years later and everything I've created. And it's like, oh my God, like I've come back into myself as the artist and recognizing that, you know, I'm just birthed my apprenticeship. So it's a facilitation apprenticeship for women that really want to step into this work and lead it. And what I realized is it's not just facilitating like workshops and guided movement journeys. It's actually facilitating or curating ritual arts. Like could be on a stage. Like we're ready to take this to the global stage. And so I share all of this because yeah, if you are like really desiring to discover more of your purpose and like where do I even go and how do I, where do I focus my energy? There's so many things as women, right? Oh my gosh, but I love this and I love this. And it's like you have to choose and recognize how powerful your presence is and what you give your presence to and your creative energy to, because your time, your energy, your money, your presence is your most valuable resource. And so whatever you're putting it into, focusing into, is going to amplify and grow. And so it is really important that we don't spread ourselves out too thin and that we really hone in and be like, okay, what do I really feel most alive and turned on by right now? Like what really lights me up? I speak a lot about the erotic, kind of spiritual erotic power, like this divine erotic power. Because when something is aligned with who we truly are and what we're here to bring through, you will feel it. It is this full body, yes, kind of like turn on. And yeah, there may be like the imposter syndrome holding you back and keeping you small and all these things. And it's like, you're going to feel that wherever you are on the path. And it's like, you feel that and you just go, you just lean into it. And I feel like that's how we just continue to grow. And I've done it myself over the years and expanded so much. And, I get to witness all of my students that have these fears that hold them back. And it's like, it just really takes taking that leap of something that is yours to say yes to. I mean, I just did it myself. I just invested so much money in my next level without even having the money. It's like, as a visionary, we have to, as a creator, as a visionary, I feel like probably most of you here are visionaries. Like you want to create, and we have to be willing to believe in something that is maybe not already here. We don't have the evidence for something that we're saying yes to always, most of the time. We have to be willing to take that leap. And so I recently just did this again. And it's like, I feel like too, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, Amy, it's like, as a leader, as a pioneer, it's like we have to be the one that we take that first step, and then we're supporting our clients, our students in that as well. It's like, okay, I have to be willing to say yes to myself, to invest in myself to that next level so that I can then bring you with me. And so I have been really feeling into this new identity that I have been shifting into, which is the visionaire. And the visionaire is the visionary, but it has the same root as millionaire, as billionaire. So it's becoming the heiress, becoming the heir to our divine inheritance as a visionary, and to really value our spiritual power and our sexual creative power, to see that by valuing those aspects of ourselves, it actually will bring in the money, the flow, the abundance, the inheritance, when we are able to really vision and hold and value those pieces. And so the visionaire truly holds this big vision of what is possible and the value of it without having the evidence. But I think by also, I'll say, is being in spaces, being in conversations, tuning in to frequencies like this, the feminine frequency, that is how we continue to expand in our own capacity and what's possible, and to feel like, oh, okay, this is possible. Yes, I'm not crazy. Like, this is right. I can be like them. Like, and so it's like leaning in and being in these spaces with others that are inspiring, and that you're like, okay, they're doing it, so let me find my way.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we're all guiding each other, like we're walking alongside each other, because everything that you just shared is completely unconventional to what we are taught when we
Mm.
are younger. We're taught that you need to get a good job and you need to have security and safety and health insurance, and oh, don't follow your passions, don't show your sensuality, don't listen to your intuition. Those things are not going to lead you in the direction that you want to go. And everything you just shared about, really tuning into your aliveness and what is inspiring you? What is lighting you up? What is turning you on? And then having that courageous yes of following that, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense, even if other people around you maybe do think it's crazy. And that's why it is so important. Like you said, I know this is a core value for both of us in our work is being surrounded by other empowered women and being in community with other empowered women to know that you're not alone on the journey and that you're not crazy, but that actually this is the courageous path to be taking. And the alternative is hiding your gift, is playing small, is being repressed in your sexual energy. And I don't believe that that's what we're here for. Like that's
No,
not
I'm
what
like,
we came here
"Oh."
for. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I really love
Mm.
this, the visionaire and really holding this vision and also, being rewarded with financial abundance through sharing your gifts, which I know so many women struggle with that concept of like, oh, getting paid for something that I love to do and that I'm good at or
Ugh,
sharing gifts. It's like,
yeah.
that's it right there. That's what we're moving towards.
Yes. What else is there? Doing things that you don't enjoy and then making money and then feeling this resentment because it's all about frequency.
Privilege.
So, to be in that, I like to speak about, yeah, the law of reciprocity as well. And when we're in that space of like giving, also like, yeah, this regenerative energy and like giving to ourselves and coming from a full cup, like valuing our spiritual practice, valuing our sexual creative practices, our sensuality. Because when we are connected to our pleasure, and giving to ourselves, we are more open to receive also. So like that is so important. And that's a frequency of being present, turned on, but not even like sexually turned on. It's just like, yes, like lit up, inspired. And so when you're doing something that just comes natural to you and you're sharing and it's of value to somebody else, money is just that exchange of like, oh yes, thank you. I would love this. Like we all have these beautiful, unique gifts and that hold value for somebody else that desires that. And so it really is just this exchange and this flow and this currency of value and love and gratitude and appreciation. I think that for us as women, like I just stand for us to come into right relationship with money and value. And really like we have so much to rewrite, and it hasn't been very long. It's been like 100 years that we've even been able to own land and have our own banks, and like have that kind of sovereignty. And so we're building it for the generations to come. We're creating these new pathways and new ways of being around our relationship to money and true abundance. And it comes from our inner wealth and our inner knowing of our own infinite potential. Really been getting, also just so turned on around the nervous system and also the quantum and how we need both. So the nervous system is like fully present here, like in the body. We have to root and expand and feel safe in order to open and receive all that's possible and available to us here now in the quantum, in this moment. And so there's really this incredible dance, I feel like, that we have to do that's like in this physical space, but then also in this total unseen magical realm as well. But as women, we have that capacity. Like it's much easier for us to actually tune into that if we choose to.
Yeah, I love both of those pieces. And I recently had an incredible guest on that was talking specifically about quantum manifestation as it relates to nervous system healing. Her name's Dr. Nona Javid. And it was like such
Mhm.
an epic conversation. I'm like, yes, we need more of this. So I love that you're tuning into that too and really getting the inspiration to be empowering other women or money and abundance and the powerful co-creators that we came here to be. Yeah, wow, what a transmission, Sophia. I was like, we could talk forever. I was like, there's so much more, but I loved everything you shared and I loved the stories you shared. I was like, I'm not even going to interrupt because this is just so good. So thank you
Um,
for just like, yeah, pouring into the feminine frequency community today. Thank you for continuing to show up in your leadership, for listening when the time is that you needed to step back. And I'm really excited about this next evolution of your work. So, for
Mm.
our listeners who want to connect with your magic, I know that you have a free gift that you wanted to share with them today.
Yes. Yeah, I have this beautiful ritual. It's like a sacred embodiment ritual to truly access your magnetic frequency and open up the channel. So it's really like one of my signature temple body arts ritual journeys, just 25 minutes. And I also want to share that I am going to be creating more music. So I'm also a vocalist and I have some tracks. I have temple body affirmation and codes of remembrance and sword of discernment, and there's more coming. So yeah, definitely find me on Spotify and I have some epic playlists on there and different tracks. So more to come on that as well.
Exciting. Yeah, I've really loved watching your artistry journey of expression and temple arts, like watching you move and the performances. And I've also seen footage of your retreats and your programs where women are in that expression. And it's really inspiring. So thank you for who you be and how you show up in the world. And yeah, for our listeners, we're going to drop the link in the show notes for that embodiment practice. So make sure to grab that. And then you can also find Sofiah on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle, love?
Yeah, it's just my name, which is spelled very different. It's Sofiahthom. And that's the same. I have a YouTube channel as well. I have lots of videos and practices there. So yeah, that's a great place to dive in and get lots of gems of wisdom there as well.
Beautiful. We'll link that in the show notes as well. And I look forward to whenever our paths cross again,
I
possibly in
know.
Costa Rica next year or elsewhere. But so grateful to share space with you today.
Thank you so much. So much love. So good. Thank you. Thank you.